I can tell you that immediately, the moment she opened her mouth, you could see that Combs was listening intently to everything that she has to say, as well as those jurors.
He joins us now, sharing her story. Natania, thank you so much for being with us. I can't imagine what you've been through since 1999, and then all the emotions that must be coming up over the last couple of days.
In a dramatic turn of events that's sending shockwaves through both the entertainment industry and the legal system, Natania Reuben has once again taken the spotlight, this time in federal court. Her testimony directly implicates Sean Diddy Combs in the infamous 1999 nightclub shooting, stating under oath that she personally saw him fire the weapon that left her injured and others wounded. Reuben's detailed recollection challenges prior narratives that had suggested Diddy's bodyguard or rapper Shyne was the shooter, shaking the foundation of a case long thought to be closed. What makes her testimony especially explosive is not just its timing amid Diddy's ongoing legal troubles, but its content, bringing new attention to one of the music industry's darkest chapters. Her statements suggest that the truth about that night was deliberately buried, and now, decades later, it's clawing its way back into the public eye, forcing everyone involved to answer to the past.
Law enforcement sources are expecting the feds to widen the Diddy probe to include previous criminal investigations. Now, we know Diddy was criminally investigated regarding that shooting in New York, but I didn't realize the extent of J-Lo's involvement.
After Jennifer Lopez was dragged into the Diddy lawsuit over allegedly being the gun mule in a 1999 nightclub shooting where Diddy and J-Lo allegedly made a rapper named Shyne take the fall and spend 10 years in prison for them, people have started digging into her past and it raises some questions.
I don't know if he was present with that, but I know he had been hanging around with him in London, in Paris, different places.
Equally stunning is the ripple effect this courtroom testimony has had on Jennifer Lopez. Reuben's sworn account didn't just stop with Diddy. She suggested that Lopez may have played a deeper role in the events surrounding the shooting than previously understood. While Lopez was widely reported as simply being at the wrong place at the wrong time, merely Diddy's girlfriend and innocent bystander, Reuben's words tell a much different story. According to the testimony, Lopez was allegedly present and involved in the cleanup or misdirection efforts that took place immediately after the shots rang out. These allegations have reignited questions that were dismissed years ago, drawing new scrutiny not just from fans and media, but also from federal prosecutors. In the wake of these revelations, Lopez is no longer just a footnote in a story about Diddy. She's now at the center of a potential legal storm that could redefine her legacy. Reacting to the bombshell testimony, the presiding federal judge overseeing Diddy's current legal battles did not wait long to take action. According to multiple sources close to the courtroom proceedings, arrest warrants for Jennifer Lopez have now been formally ordered to ensure her cooperation in this evolving investigation. This is not just a media stunt or speculation. This is a serious legal maneuver that indicates authorities are willing to dig much deeper into the 1999 incident than they ever have before. The warrants are not an indication of guilt, but are instead a procedural step in compelling Lopez to answer under oath for her whereabouts, actions, and possible knowledge surrounding the shooting. For someone of Lopez's fame and influence, the issuance of these warrants represents a historic and unprecedented escalation in a case that has haunted hip-hop for over 2 decades.
As we talked about in the first part, there seems to be some misinformation or misunderstanding of what really went down in that trial, what was said, what people were blamed for, what they were not. I'd love to hear your perspective and specifically kind of what you wish people understood about that trial that maybe they don't at this time.
I mean, even from the very day that the evening took place, because if you notice their mugshots, only Shyne truly has a mugshot. Puffy and J-Lo, Puffy's in front of a concrete wall, J-Lo is in front of a bulletin board in some old t-shirts. Now, I want everyone to think that was the night of the shooting. You don't think at Christmas time, Puffy and J-Lo went out in some old raggedy t-shirts, right? No, there was already a agenda afoot to conceal what they had on, to try to sway the minds of people, to throw your memory off, but they couldn't throw my memory off.
The incident that lies at the center of this legal chaos is the infamous 1999 nightclub shooting that took place inside Club New York in Manhattan. That night, chaos erupted when gunfire broke out, leaving 3 people injured, including Natania Reuben. The altercation began as a dispute inside the club and quickly escalated into violence. Witnesses say that Diddy and his entourage, including then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, fled the scene in a getaway vehicle, leading to a high-profile police chase through the city. The fallout was immediate. Diddy and Lopez were detained, the music industry went into PR overdrive, and tabloids had a field day. However, despite the dramatic nature of the case, only Shyne was convicted and served time. Many believe the full truth was never told. Now, with Reuben testifying under oath and directly naming new players, the case is being revisited in a way that could lead to profound consequences for everyone involved. Jennifer Lopez's brush with law enforcement that night was brief but unforgettable. She was arrested alongside Diddy after the club shooting and spent 14 hours in police custody, being interrogated and processed before ultimately being released without charges. At the time, authorities determined she had no direct involvement in the shooting, but recent developments have called that conclusion into question. New allegations suggest that Lopez may have not only witnessed key moments before and after the incident, but could have also participated in obstruction efforts, allegedly aiding in hiding the weapon or misleading investigators. These claims have not been proven in court, but the mere existence of such testimony is enough to justify a re-examination of her role that night. As the court reopens the case, Lopez could find herself entangled in a legal nightmare that challenges everything she's built over the last 25 years. One of the most compelling aspects of this story is Natania Reuben's unwavering consistency. From the moment she was shot in 1999 to her recent federal testimony, Reuben has never wavered in her claim that Diddy was the shooter. Her voice has remained steady in the face of public doubt, industry pushback, and what she describes as a deliberate attempt to erase her story from the public consciousness. Her recent appearance in court was not only emotional, but also powerful, as she detailed the aftermath of her injury and the trauma she has endured while watching Diddy and Lopez continue to rise in fame and fortune. With each word, she seemed to reclaim a piece of the narrative long denied to her, and now her persistence appears to be paying off as law enforcement finally gives her account the attention it has long deserved. This consistency could be a turning point, not just in this trial, but in how the justice system treats victims of celebrity-related violence. The issuance of arrest warrants for Lopez signals a monumental shift in how this case is being handled. For years, the assumption was that Lopez had left the chaos of the 1999 shooting in her rearview mirror. But the court's recent actions indicate that no one is above scrutiny, not even global icons with billion-dollar brands. The warrants don't automatically equate to charges, but they do suggest that the justice system sees Lopez as a person of interest with potentially valuable or damning information. Legal experts say that if Reuben's testimony continues to hold up under cross-examination, Lopez could face charges ranging from obstruction of justice to being an accessory after the fact. It's a dramatic reversal of public perception, from glamorized pop star to key figure in a criminal investigation, marking a critical moment in a case that refuses to fade away quietly. The public reaction has been nothing short of explosive. Social media erupted within minutes of the news breaking, with hashtags like #JusticeForNatania and #Lopez warrants trending across platforms. Commentators from mainstream outlets to independent creators are dissecting every angle, speculating on what this means for both Diddy and Lopez. The media frenzy is reminiscent of the original case in 1999, but this time it's amplified by the 24/7 news cycle and the internet's appetite for scandal. Fans of Lopez are divided, with some defending her vehemently and others calling for accountability. Meanwhile, Diddy's silence on the matter has only fueled further speculation. As the story develops, it's clear that public interest is not waning. If anything, it's growing stronger by the hour, making it almost impossible for those involved to avoid addressing the situation head-on.
That's real talk. But I gotta ask you, right? I seen a trailer for a Shyne documentary that you went. How did that come about, you being in that documentary?
Well, I was there during that whole trial with Shyne and Puff. Puff said, "I hate that motherfucker, Blake." He told me that. And that's when they was on trial with each other. Anybody that was there, I know this young lady said Puff did the shooting. What I was told by Wolf himself. And he spoke very little about it because he had mad love for Shyne.
Jennifer Lopez, long seen as untouchable in both Hollywood and the music world, may now find her career facing its most formidable test. While she has weathered past controversies, this is different. This is criminal court, not the court of public opinion. If prosecutors find any corroborating evidence to back Reuben's claims, Lopez could be called to testify, charged, or even indicted depending on the outcome of this re-examination. For her PR team, this is a crisis unlike any they've faced before, and how they handle it could make or break her future projects. Brand deals, movie roles, and even her Vegas residency could be in jeopardy if her name becomes synonymous with criminal allegations. As one entertainment lawyer put it, this isn't about image anymore, it's about survival. For Lopez, the stakes couldn't be higher. The case remains under active investigation, and authorities have made it clear that no one is off the table. With new evidence being reviewed, old witnesses being re-interviewed, and public pressure mounting, the legal system appears determined to leave no stone unturned. The courtroom has once again become a stage, not for music or fame, but for justice. As more testimonies are scheduled and the impact of Reuben's words continues to ripple outward, federal prosecutors are bracing for a long and potentially historic trial. The investigation has transformed from a cold case relic into one of the most talked about legal sagas of the decade. And at the heart of it all are three names: Natania Reuben, Sean "Diddy" Combs, and Jennifer Lopez, each now bound by a truth that refuses to stay buried. Natania Reuben's story remains unchanged. After 25 years, despite the passage of time, one fact remains clear. Natania Reuben has never changed her story. From the moment she was shot in the face at Club New York in 1999 to her most recent federal testimony, Reuben has consistently asserted that Sean "Diddy" Combs was the one who pulled the trigger. Over the years, her claims have been sidelined, questioned, and even publicly dismissed by some. But she has never wavered. In court, Reuben reiterated her truth with chilling clarity, describing not only the gunfire, but the aftermath, her injuries, the surgeries, and the psychological toll. She expressed frustration that her voice was drowned out by Diddy's legal team, powerful media handlers, and the general public's willingness to forget. What makes this moment different is that her voice is finally being heard in a setting where it carries legal weight. For Reuben, it's not about revenge, it's about justice and truth. Her resilience in the face of trauma and systemic neglect is being recognized as more than a victim's narrative. It's a key that could unlock accountability not just for Diddy, but for everyone who may have enabled, ignored, or protected criminal behavior that night. Legal observers say Reuben's unwavering story gives her testimony rare credibility, especially as more inconsistencies emerge from the original 1999 investigation. Her courtroom presence has become the emotional and evidentiary cornerstone of this newly reopened scandal, and her commitment to speaking truth to power is being seen as a pivotal turning point in the case.
Sean Combs directed everything from what she had on to the lighting in the room to how she was supposed to interact with the person that she was having sex with. And again, just to reiterate what is a freak off, the freak off essentially was something that Cassie said she learned about through Sean Combs about a year into their relationship. He described it as voyeurism, wanting to watch her have sex with someone else. And she said that she did it because she was 22, 21, she was young, she didn't know any better, and that she wanted to please Sean Combs.
And at some point in time, she actually had said that she looked forward to the freak offs. Why did Cassie express looking forward to the said freak off?
When the prosecution asked her, was there ever a time that you enjoyed the freak offs? This is when Cassie got choked up and she said, I did, but only because I got to spend one-on-one time with Combs.
Jennifer Lopez, once treated as a tangential figure in the 1999 shooting, now finds herself in the direct path of a legal firestorm. With Natania Reuben's sworn testimony naming Lopez as potentially complicit in the aftermath of the nightclub shooting, legal experts are warning that the pop superstar could face serious consequences. If investigators find any evidence, be it forensic, digital, or testimonial, that supports Reuben's claim Lopez helped conceal a weapon or mislead police, she could be charged with obstruction of justice or even as an accessory. Such charges are no longer theoretical. prosecutors are reportedly examining the chain of custody of the weapon, reviewing surveillance tapes from the club and surrounding areas, and interviewing retired officers who worked the original case. This renewed investigation comes amid Diddy's broader legal challenges, creating a perfect storm that could engulf anyone connected to his past, including Lopez. While her legal team has remained silent so far, sources close to the investigation say they've already begun preparing for potential cooperation or a preemptive legal strategy. Lopez has spent years cultivating a brand of elegance, family values, and empowerment, but this scandal cuts deep into that narrative. The public is now asking whether her silence was a product of fear, protection, or complicity, and the courts may soon require her to answer those questions under oath. As the case heats up, her involvement is no longer speculative. It's central to the unraveling mystery of what really happened that night. The public response to Natania Reuben's testimony and the subsequent legal fallout involving Jennifer Lopez has been nothing short of explosive. Social media platforms are ablaze with hashtags like #Justice for Natania, #J-Lo named, and #Diddy trial, reflecting a cultural moment where celebrity protection is being questioned like never before. Fans who once defended Lopez unconditionally are now split, some demanding accountability, others believing she's being unfairly targeted. For Diddy, the renewed focus on the 1999 incident compounds his ongoing legal troubles, casting a shadow over his legacy and raising new concerns about celebrity impunity. Mainstream media outlets are treating this as the biggest courtroom scandal since the Depp vs. Heard trial, with wall-to-wall coverage, panel discussions, and special investigations. Meanwhile, legal analysts are warning the public not to conflate social media speculation with confirmed facts, but the virality of the moment is impossible to ignore. Brands that once partnered with Lopez are reportedly monitoring the situation closely, waiting to see if she is officially named in any indictments before taking action. The wave of attention has also brought renewed support for Reuben, who many feel was long denied justice because of the star power involved in the original case. Commentators say this may be a cultural tipping point, where fame no longer shields those involved in criminal investigations, but rather magnifies their potential culpability. The scrutiny is intense, unrelenting, and could determine not only court outcomes but public careers. For Jennifer Lopez, the fallout from these renewed allegations is threatening to undo a lifetime of carefully curated fame. While no formal charges have yet been filed, the damage to her public image has already begun. Interviews are being canceled, brand partners are delaying campaigns, and internal sources within her team report a high level of crisis management behind the scenes. What was once an airtight PR machine is now scrambling to contain a potential implosion. Lopez, who built her legacy on stories of resilience, success, and overcoming adversity, is facing a narrative she cannot choreograph. A legal one, driven by courtroom facts, testimony, and public scrutiny. If prosecutors proceed with an indictment or subpoena, her name will be forever attached to one of hip-hop's darkest nights. For a performer who danced between music, fashion, and film with unparalleled ease, this may be the one arena where her influence holds no sway. Industry insiders are already speculating on the impact this could have on her movie deals, music streams, and upcoming performances. Meanwhile, her fans are in limbo, uncertain whether to defend or distance themselves. One legal expert noted that Lopez's case will be studied for years, not just for its legal outcome, but for how it challenges the idea of celebrity untouchability. If she is indeed pulled further into this investigation, it will test the strength of her brand, the loyalty of her followers, and the willingness of the public to separate art from legal accountability.
So exhausting, she needed a recovery period from uses of drugs and the physical exhaustion of the activities at play.
The reopening of the 1999 Club New York shooting investigation, powered by Natania Reuben's testimony and the subsequent legal focus on Jennifer Lopez, has signaled a major shift in how the justice system handles cases involving celebrities. Historically, high-profile individuals often benefited from public relations insulation, legal firepower, and societal reluctance to hold the famous fully accountable. But in today's climate, where digital evidence, survivor advocacy, and public sentiment converge at lightning speed, prosecutors are under more pressure than ever to demonstrate impartiality. Sources say the federal task force reviewing the Diddy case is coordinating with state officials to explore all leads, not just on the original shooting, but on what happened in the hours and days that followed. Investigators are examining timelines, interviewing new witnesses, and even re-evaluating physical evidence with modern forensic technology. This is not just about one night. It's about a system waking up to the reality that celebrity status must not equate to legal immunity. Legal scholars believe this case could set a new precedent for how old cases are reopened and how the justice system applies pressure in situations where prior investigations fell short. For Lopez, Diddy, and even past law enforcement officials, the message is clear. There is no statute of limitations on the truth. The investigation is far from over. And for those who thought the events of 1999 would stay buried, the courtroom lights are on once again. And this time, no one is walking away without answering hard questions.